Hi, everybody. Welcome to Transformational Tuesday. It is March 10th, 2026, and spring is springing. It's kind of an exciting time for me to host, of course, my favorite person in the Juice Plus community, a mentor, like a sister, a dear, dear friend, and she just happens to be my national marketing director, Nikki Cotton. So I feel like most people on this call have heard all of Nikki's accolades. I will read the bio for anybody reading or watching the recording, just in case you don't know how amazing she is. But Nikki was married for 40 years. She was an elementary school teacher, ran a construction company before she discovered Juice Plus, and her story around the discovery and initial resistance, and then it becoming an entire lifestyle with her husband Chris and her is amazing. She probably won't tell that tonight, but she spends summers in the Lake Mountains of Ashland, Oregon, which is where I get to see her more often, and lives the rest of the year near the Central Coast beaches of California. Both places are amazing and magical, so no wonder that Nikki is attracted to them. She's a 100 Club member, awarded the most new businesses in 1 year, and an Elton Award nominee for children's research. And I just recently heard that Nikki was honored by Brendan Barber as
Mm.
one of the legends in the Juice Plus company. So only apparently in this presentation, I don't, Nikki, you can fill in the details, but our very own Nikki Cotton was featured by Brandon Barber as one of the legends. And I just feel so incredibly blessed to have been mentored by her, taught by her, listened to by her. And if you don't know, if you haven't sat down and just chatted with Nikki, you will just be overwhelmed by her eternal curiosity, which was is what makes her so amazing. So, as Nikki and I were talking about what the topic was going to be this week, we both landed on this training that apparently Chris and Nikki collaborated on many years ago. It kind of has been asleep for a little bit. Well, we both just went, aha, yes, this information needs to come back around. And so some of you who have been in the business a lot will probably recognize the meals training, but neither Nikki or I could remember what meals stood for, even though it's so brilliant. So I'm hoping it will just be all brand new for all of us, even though we've heard of it before. And Nikki, I'm just really excited to relearn and just, have you share your wisdom with us tonight. So,
Kirsten, you always do the best introductions. She makes whoever she introduces sound so spectacular. Thank you, thank you,
and
thank
you
you.
are.
Thank you. What I was going to also say is the thing about Brandon Barber, what he's doing is he's putting an all network marketing event together. So it's a variety of companies, and he's picked six women from three different companies from the Juice Plus company, Arbonne, Young Living, and Mary Kay. I think that's it, four companies. And so Jennifer and I are going to be the two Juice Plus company people. And I know we won't be able to mention Juice Plus on the call because it's like the GoPro stuff. We will not be talking specific companies, but it will be fun to see it. And one of the women, I don't know how many of you know this, but I've been following her since the GoPro era, which is Gloria Mayfield Banks, which was the number one earner in Mary Kay. And I'm just excited to be in connection with her at all because I followed her for so long. I think it's really fun and it's going to be great. For those of you, it's March 24th, 25th, and 26th. It's from 5 to 6:30 p.m. So it's an hour and a half for those 3 nights, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And even though it's on a Tuesday, it doesn't affect our Tuesday night Heat Team calls because it's the fourth Tuesday of the month, I believe. And it's $19. And then if you want to do an upgrade so you can see the recording, it's $47 and it'll be posted lots of places for you to find. So anyway, I'm excited to be part of that. It's a little bit intimidating, I can tell you that much. So let's get right started. I want to ask all of you just a question, and if you just want to say a few words, just say them. You can unmute yourselves to say them. But when you think about, you know, taking care of your body. We really, the name of this training is meals. And so when we eat our good meals every day for our body, and everybody in here probably does the best they can. We're all in here for pretty much the same reason. It's our passion about being healthy. Tell me in just a sentence or two at the most, why are your meals important? What are you hoping those meals will do for you? Anybody?
Give me energy.
Okay, so the food that you put in to give you energy, what else?
Just
Help you poop.
Help you poop. That, of course, would be yours, Heidi. Help you poop, the gut woman. What else?
for me, it's like fight inflammation and or not contribute to inflammation.
So decrease inflammation. What
Yeah.
else?
For me, sorry, it's my main focus is I want the healthiest immune system I can have to prevent anything from colds and flu to cancer to anything.
Yeah, it's
Parkinson's, any of that. I'm hoping to prevent that.
yeah, it's that whole prevention thing. Let's keep our bodies protected from everything that's not great, right? Anybody want to add anything else? For me, it's also about having a smarter brain, our gut brain connection. Eating good meals takes the fog away, has more clarity, creates more vitality. If you have more vitality in your life because you're feeding your body well, you may have better connections with people. You may have better conversations with people. You probably are going to have better relationships because your body is healthy and in balance. And so when Chris, and I really want to thank Chris for this because this was a lot came from him and just the way we worked together. He would come up with an idea and then I would kind of fill in the spaces. And it was a really fun thing when Kirsten, you said, let's do meals again. So one of the things I think about in terms of meals, and we're going to go through, it's an acronym, but if you think about meals in terms of food and nutrition and what it does for your body, what if you had a simple plan that you woke up with every day, every single day? I think a little bit about the miracle morning. This is a little bit different, but you woke up with having great meals for the whole day. What would that look like if you woke up with that mindset of having these great nutritious meals every day? And not just but for your body, but for your mind also, and your spirit, and your emotional piece, and your physical piece. So let's start with what meals, the acronym stands for. And we're going to do one letter at a time. M is for mindset. And I want you, when you think about mindset, one of the really important things around mindset is something that Chris and I used to really talk about is future vision. Having the mindset about what your future looks like so you can be visioning and moving towards that rather than dragging the past with you. Having that future vision always going on. So waking up in the morning with this mindset that says, my day is going to be great today. Something really simple. I'm going to feel safe today. I'm going to have more energy. I'm going to be in service today. Whatever it is for you, just having that little thought about controlling your mindset, waking up in the morning. And part of mindset can be gratitude. You wake up with gratitude as part of your mindset, but you actually lay in bed thinking about what are my meals going to look like today. So one of the things is that I know that, a lot of times we put ourselves between the message and the mission because we hold back, because our mindset says, we're not good enough to tell somebody about this. I don't know enough to tell somebody about this. I'm a salesman. They're going to see me as pushy. But that's literally putting yourself between the message and the mission. And when you put yourself between the message and the mission, what you're doing in the biggest picture is you're stopping the ability for love to occur. So I just want you to be thinking about how deep mindset can go. I just think that's super important. Also, having a curious mindset. What if you just woke up in the morning instead of saying, oh, I got this and this to do, you said, I'm curious how this day is going to unfold. What if that's all you said when you woke up in the morning? How much better that feels than, oh God, I have so much to do. Just waking up. I'm curious as to how this day will unfold. Or, excuse me, embracing the idea of service and community in terms of your mindset, having that be your focus. So that's great. Tammy says, I wake up making a smoothie. And I bet you before you make the smoothie, Tammy, you're thinking about how wonderful it's going to be for your body, how good it's going to be for you. And it's not a drudgery. I'm going to make another smoothie today. There's something in there that feels good about knowing that you're doing something good for your body. What about doing something good for your entire day by having your mindset aligned with your core values and your purpose? I'm going to just stop there and see if anybody has any comments, anything they want to add about mindset.
I think waking up and actually knowing what you're going to be focusing on, which is kind of what you're saying, is key. So also kind of waking up and saying, I'm going to do, like naming, I'm going to follow up with 5 people today. I am going to, and what I heard in what you said was I am statements as well.
Yeah,
And I love that.
great. And I
Yeah,
just
and
want
I
to
will, oh,
go
I
on.
was gonna say, I will say, I remember going through this training when it originally came out, or maybe it was, I don't know if it was original, many years ago. And I did switch my mindset to gratitude. And I do that every morning of just before I get out of bed, just, thinking like, yay, it's another beautiful day.
Yeah.
And it has made such a huge, huge difference in my life.
And if we think about mindset as a muscle, and that's what you're talking about, Leslie, the practicing of something, you build the muscle. So guess what? Practice just waking up in the morning and having the first thing that says that you say to yourself, what's my mindset going to be today? Just asking yourself a simple question. You don't have to go through a big litany of anything. It can be as simple as my mindset is going to be as stay as present as I can. It's going to be as positive as I can. I'm going to, whatever it is, keep it simple. The meals is about keeping it simple. The E in meals is all about energy. And you can't say this enough. There isn't in a class that I go to that doesn't, I'm doing a new class now on Tuesday mornings. And it's so funny because the first thing he was talking about today is how everything is energy. Everything is energy. Everything is an exchange of energy. There's nothing that isn't. And so how we and number one is, one of the things that Chris used to always say is whatever energy you are bringing to the event is what's really going to happen. If you go into a party and it's kind of boring, you can shift your energy and actually create a different kind of energy for that situation. Changing your energy before you knock on a door to say hello to somebody, changing your energy state before you make that phone call. I think those are the key pieces around energy. And well, I wrote something down. Oh, I think the really important thing, and I kind of touched on it, is energy is contagious. So, if you're kind of feeling down and you meet another person for lunch, and your energy is stronger than their energy, I will pretty much bet that that lunch is going to go downhill. As opposed to if you come with an energy of love and curiosity and wonder to a person that's not feeling well, the chances are you're going to raise their energy to match your energy because the energy is going to match each other, right? So, anybody want to say anything specific about energy? Because I think this is a key piece. It's the key piece that happens when you say, I don't feel like doing this today. How many of you, I certainly have done it, I don't feel like making the call. We have a choice to change the state of our being, the state of our energy. Being happy or sad is actually a choice. And I'm not saying that you should never be sad. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't grieve or be angry or any of those things. But once you're in it, you can say, I can choose to stay this way or I can shift my energy. So, any comments there?
I
I
think
just
it's so great. I think it's so great that it is a choice. And we've all had this happen where we've like been, I just really don't want to do this. And then we make a choice that it's going to be great. And how everything changes, but nothing changed. I just love that we can do that. And it's kind of self-fulfilling. The more we get into that energy, the more things show up that, yes, this was great, or I'm so glad that I'm here. So yeah, I love that it can start with just a choice.
Just a choice of how your state of being is going to be and what energy you're going to bring to anything that you're doing. And it doesn't matter how small the situation is or how big the situation is how much are you willing to bring and share? Anything else?
Well, I don't know if you remember, Nikki, but way back when Pam Popper came and we all stayed together at you guys' house in
Yep.
Reno.
Yep.
And I wound up chauffeuring her around. And some of the stuff she said, in any encounter, there's nothing neutral. It's like either you get energy from someone or they suck it away from you. And there's never neutral. And
Yeah.
so that always kind of stuck with me.
Yeah.
So
It's either feeding you or draining you. That's what
yeah,
that was the expression. I
yeah, that
remember,
was a
but
good
that's
way to
perfect.
put it. Yeah.
It's exactly
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So watch the energy around you. Is it feeding you? Is it draining you? And can you bring value to something to shift their energy so that they're not drained, that nobody's drained? Does that make sense to all of you? So now we've got mindset, energy. Now, a really important part of all of this, it's almost like the glue that sticks everything together, is activity. It doesn't matter how much you tell yourself you're going to do something, you want to do something, you have an intention to do something. Activity is going to be the key to actually have something shift and happen on the outside. You may have already shifted on the inside, you're ready to go. But if you don't take that shift and apply activity to it, it's meaningless. It doesn't, you might feel well, which is great, but it's not going to shift your outside world. So, what kinds of activities are we talking about? And if I'm talking about meals as a lifetime item, not just about your business, and you look at the word activity, if we took the balance, what are the different kinds of activities that you can do during the day to improve your life? What?
Go for a walk in nature.
Walk in nature,
Breathe.
breathe.
Just take a moment for yourself and relax and
Mm.
read a book or yeah.
Yeah. And then what kind of activity in your business makes a shift?
Talking to people.
Yeah. And as we used to say, there's only three things that really do that, right? Talking to people, talking to people,
Talking to people.
Those are the three top things that you can do to promote your business, you know? So that's the activity level. And then how do you bring along, if you're not doing the activity, how can you use your mindset and your energy to shift gears so that you take a step? And what I'd like to offer is just take a small step. I forget, we listened to that great podcast by Chris Williamson, and he said, I don't care how small it is that you're doing it. I don't care if it's embarrassingly small. Like all you do is pick up the phone and look up a phone number, but you don't make the call. But yesterday you never picked up your phone. And the next day you pick up the phone and you get the phone number and you actually dial it. You begin the process of activity. And the example he gave was when he started to write a book. For him, it was a big deal to sit in front of his laptop. And because in order to write the book, that's where he had to be. And he was avoiding sitting down. So he made himself sit down. And when people would say, how are you doing writing your book? He said it was way too embarrassing to say, well, I sat down at my computer today. But that's what ended up writing his book. He took small steps every day that he could handle until the book was written. So if that's what it takes to move your business, don't take a bite this big that makes you gag. Just take a sip, get started, get moving. So you've got mindset, energy, activity. This is a fun one, is language. Remember how much fun we had with language, Kirsten? You came up with, we were talking, remember how we always said, I'm dripping on this person. I've sent him 6 emails and 4 videos and blah, blah, blah. And we'd say over and over again, we're dripping on people. And Kirsten was the way that came up one day in a meeting. She said, I like to think we're shining on people. And we shifted, nobody in the group ever again said, I'm dripping on people. We all shifted it to, I'm shining on this certain person. I'm curious, physically, how does the word dripping versus shining feel in your body? I saw your face, Kirsten.
Nikki, I
Yeah,
was
it feels heavy. Well, dripping just feels like smothering. Like I'm going to drown them with the information. I'm going to like suffocate them with stuff they don't want to hear about versus
Right.
just shining the light for people and onto people. It just feels so much lighter and more
It,
joyful.
and Chris used to say it's waterboarding. Torturing
Mhm.
people, waterboarding was dripping on
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Heidi, what were you going to
I
say?
was just going to say, I was just singing your praises. I was on a West Coast legacy call with Nicole this morning, and I actually just happened to talk about the language shift that we did back then. The shining, the attracting versus getting, and how powerful that was. And it just inspired us to do more than and getting to activity
Yeah.
than just sitting there because it was so much more positive.
And it was really fun. Also, it was fun when we were practicing it because when somebody said dripping or I'm getting somebody, instead of saying I'm attracting somebody, I'm forgetting all the other crazy words we came up with at the time. But it was fun because I think when you'd say buzz or you're getting them, and we'd all laugh. It wasn't a bad thing. It was a way to help us maintain the highest standards of language. And the fact is, your word is your world. The words that you speak create the world around you. I think that's some of the most important things that you can think about, and it's one of the things that I know in the four agreements that he talks about is your word is your world. So it's really important to be taking a look at not only the words you're using in business, in life, but are there words that you're using that are not complimentary to yourself? I know I'm still doing it. It's just when I hear myself and I think, would I ever say what I just said to myself to a 5-year-old child? Not in a million years, but I'm saying it to me. So be conscious of the words that you choose for yourself. I think that's absolutely critical. I'm trying to think if I've missed something here that's important. Oh, yeah, track it open. Oh, the other one and I think this is also really old in terms of the word choice, but we stopped saying to people, are you interested in? We changed it to, are you open to learning? Because people psychologically want to be open. They don't really care. They're not interested in that. But yeah, I'm a really open person. So those words affect the people that you're talking to as well. And so I think there's just, and I know that we've done I'm doing it with a group of people, sales mastery, and the idea that we're salesmen, and that's really hard for some people to grasp that they're salespeople. If you want to use the word, I guide people to make really good solutions for themselves rather than I sell people an idea. It's pretty much the same thing, but if guide makes you feel more powerful and more willing to talk to people, think about yourself as a guide even though I'll just whisper it, you really are salespeople. But if you don't like that, you can also be guide people. How does that feel to everybody? I know it feels usually better to most people. And then,
Oh, sorry. Why it feels better to me, I've been using the word guide rather than coach, is not so much I know what I'm doing, but the picture I'm painting for other people. If I paint them, hey, I'm in sales, or even I'm in a coach, they have a certain view of what that is.
they do.
Want to paint that picture of what I'm doing that I could be a guide because the guide doesn't make you go a certain way or push something on you, just there to kind of show the way if you choose to go that way.
Exactly. And I love the example he uses is the guide down a river. You want a guide to take you down a river when you're kayaking or when you're, going down any kind of river. You want the guide to tell you when to put the paddle in, when to put it off, when to lean, when to do those things, because he's going to get you to the end safely and easily and have a really beautiful experience. So a guide is a really powerful word. They're those the people that educate and show the way. So another really powerful word. And then the final letter is S for meals. And we came up with there's two S's. One, which is skills. That takes practice and education. Finding the skills that you need in order to share the product, get people started on the product. There are a lot of skills. There are communication skills. There's back office skills. There's skills where you learn how to open something up for people so that they get curious themselves and they want to know more. I mean, we have a lot of skill making activities that take skills. And at the beginning, you may not be that good, but practice creates skills. But the second letter, which I think is really critical, especially for those of us that have hung around the last few years when it hasn't been so easy. And I know, 25 years ago, there was a time where it wasn't so easy. And what that took was staying in the room, staying in the conversation, staying in the good energy, staying connected. So the S is skills and staying, because when you don't stay, none of the rest of it matters. So what I would challenge you to do in the morning is wake up with meals on your mind. My mindset today is going to be that I'm going to be present and open. My energy is going to be flowing. My activity is I'm going to see myself in service today. I have to do at least one thing that I love myself for being in service. If I said these things in the morning, MEAL, my language is going to be as pristine as possible, which doesn't mean I won't use the F word, just saying. Um, because there's lots of studies on that right now saying how good it is for us. I swear saw a whole article on the importance of how it, and that's the one most common word around the entire world. You can't go to any country in the world that they don't know what that word is. Just saying. So have your language. Yeah, it is the number one most common word in the world. So, but anyway, putting that aside, having your language be pristine and using words that make a difference in how you feel and in your energy. And the last is, what skills am I going to use today? I'm going to learn something new in the back office today. That could be just simple stuff. And I'm going to stay connected to my team. I'm going to stay connected to my customers. I'm going to stay connected. Now, you can also do that outside of your business. The mindset, the energy can be not the business. Your activity can still be in service. Your language can still be your language. And staying could be staying in my community where I know I'm needed. It doesn't just have to reflect your business. It can really be a um, general mantra for the morning. What meals am I going to do today to make myself have a really nutritious day on all levels? So that's it. Anybody want to say any last comments? Anything you want to add to anything? A soul map. Ooh, Kirsten, you're so good with words. I love that. A soul map. Oh, that could be a lot of things. I'm doing the soul journey workshop right now, and I'm going to bring up a soul map. I love that.
Well, one thing that I know for me is that just having guidelines for how to live. I mean, this is just reminding me why I loved this training so much way back, and also how this training and all of its guiding principles really changed the trajectory of my life. I mean, really, truly. And you're right. It's not just about the business. It's about how we apply it in every aspect of our lives. And I know that these principles and the foundation of this is what I started with in this business. And this was, the meals were the light that attracted me and kept me going.
Yeah,
So I'm just so grateful. I mean, I'm just sitting here just realizing the impact that all of these principles have had
that's great.
on
Thanks,
my
Kirsten.
life.
And I see Heidi, you wrote something really beautiful. My energy and activity is going to be courageous and from the heart.
Uh-huh.
Wake up in the morning and say that to yourself. What a great foundation for the day. Instead of getting up and going, I got to do my back exercises and then I got to make my shake and then I got to do something. If you just take that minute, like you said, Leslie, it's not even reading a book, but taking that minute and really forming the bubble of your day, setting the container for your day.
I actually took that a step further, Nikki, in my own notes. And I put my energy is going to be courageous from the heart. And I'm going to have 2 business conversations today and learn something new from my Blue Zones training.
Great. It's simple. It doesn't have to
Mhm.
be this big, but doing some of the activity really important. So I want to just appreciate everybody on the call. I hope other people enjoy and listen to this, and it feeds them as well as the way it's fed us for the last few years. So, and then next week we have a tips and tools call, and I don't have a title. Sandy, I want to work on tips and tools for next week with you if you're open.
Absolutely.
So,
Really quickly, can I introduce Nikki?
yeah.
Nikki, can you come on camera? This is Vicki. She's a new partner, and she is coming to conference. She just signed up today.
Oh, we've got her roof. There she is. Yay.
Vicki, I know I've told you all about Nikki and our team, and so glad you were able to pop on. And I will get you the recording, the link, so that you can watch the rest of the call because it was so good. I think this is her first time on Zoom.
Yay, good for you. It's a new skill. Yay. Do you have anything to say, Vicki, or are you good just the way you are? If you want to unmute yourself, you can. Oh, it's having a hard time.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome, Miho. Welcome to our team. All
Hey,
right,
Nikki.
Bye, Nikki.
have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you next week on our tips and tools call, and then we'll see you all in conference. Hey, Randy.
Hey, I
Thank
wanted
you.
to say thank you to both of you ladies. I was driving this whole time and I pulled over so that I could make one comment and just say I am eternally grateful for your openness to allowing me to be a sideline to you guys and to learn from you. This was a beautiful training, and I had a unique opportunity to listen to an Olympic athlete speak this past week. He went to high school with my daughter, and I took pictures with him. Anyway, I know the family, but his advice was something I was going to say. Make your bed. Make your bed
Oh,
every day.
yeah, it's a good one.
Yes. And I want to say, as far as feeding my body, long before I came into Juice Plus, I don't know where this came from, I make a sacred salad every day. And that sacred salad is a spinach salad, mixed lettuce, whatever, but I eat it every night because I've given of myself all day long, and that's how I pour back into myself.
I love it.
I think that's so
Beautiful.
beautiful, Randy. I'm going to make a really cool dinner tonight, and I'm going to call it my sacred dinner. Thank you. That was
Well, that's
beautiful.
great, but you're in light. I'm in darkness. I'm
Yeah.
at 9:30 here.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Well,
see the light over there. But
you are our honorary Heat team member, Randy.
yes,
Yeah.
I love your team, and I will be at the health. I was going to tell her I'm going to the health thing too, because I'm a licensed neuromuscular massage therapist, and I think that if you're licensed in the state through health, that's how I got on the list. Is what
Yeah.
I was at the last one.
That's great.
So,
All
and
right.
I have a
Randy.
new partner that was a nurse, and she is coming to the conference with me. It's the first time I have a new partner coming.
Yay. That's great. Good
So
news. All
exciting.
that great energy to end the call with. Good night, everybody. Have a great night. Great week.
Thank you.
I'll see you
Thank
next
you
week.
so much. That was a
Good night,
fabulous
everybody.
Thank
call.
you. This
Thank
was
you,
so
Nikki.
great.
Bye-bye.
Love
Bye.
you.